So today we're going to be doing one of my very favorite types of videos, and that's an empties video. And we're going to just jump right in. I've got my empties bag here. We're going to do grab bag style. As you guys probably know, I used to sort of like group my empties in products, and the last time I did this, I just did grab bag style, where I just reached into my bag totally randomly, haphazardly, and just sort of went for it that way, and it seemed to go over pretty well. So we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna try my best to not like dive into ingredients too much or anything, just sort of jump in, tell you guys my experience with the product, do like little mini reviews, and try and keep them as short and sweet as possible. But you know me, I tend to ramble a little bit, so we're just gonna dive right in, grab the first product. And okay, so the first one is the Pharmaesthetics Solar Salt Mineral Bath. And I'm on a little bit of a Pharmaesthetics kick these days. I haven't really explored this this brand until recently, and for the most part I have been really loving everything that I've been trying, I would say, except for this product. And that's not really to say that I didn't like this product in particular, but I really don't like purchasing bath salts in general from brands, because I find them to be a waste of money. I just like to get Epsom salts, big bags of Epsom salts. I take a lot of Epsom salt baths. That's one of the few things actually I DIY myself. If I'm in the mood, I will take my Epsom salts, put in my own oils, and just make them myself, because it's so easy and it's so much cheaper than purchasing, you know, expensive salt baths. And if you get them cheaply, then they're typically made with synthetic fragrance. But this was just so beautiful, and I had some points through Nordstrom's. I have a Nordstrom credit card, and I had some points, and I was ordering the Pharmaesthetics, I think it's the Sweet Almond Bath Wash, and I purchased this as well with my points. I've been loving the bath wash. I decided to just go ahead and get this because it was just like super pretty, and I reaffirmed my opinion on that bath salts are kind of a waste of money for the most part. There is an exception, and I think I have an exception in my bag. But yeah, it just didn't really smell like a whole lot, just didn't really love it. I mean, I just prefer to just dump a whole bunch of Epsom salts in my bath and forego purchasing the bath salts. So unfortunately, that was a no-go for me. And what is this? This looks like a sample. Oh, this was the De Mamiel Exhale. Oh, okay, I know why I got this. All right, this is the De Mamiel Exhale Daily Hydrating Nectar. Now, this I got in a sample from Beauty Habit. I specifically requested this because this was in a Beauty Heroes box. I don't get the Beauty Heroes boxes, and I was really curious about this. So I decided to test this, and the smell, let me open this up really quickly. So I think this is some kind of a serum, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh, no. Okay, so this is the hydrating nectar. So that's why it's a little confusing, because this actually is like a tinted moisturizer, and this scent was just too strong for me. That's right. So as a tinted moisturizer, it's really beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the Josh Rosebrook Tinted Day Cream. Maybe this is a little bit thicker, if I'm remembering correctly, but the deal with this is it is scented with patchouli. It has patchouli essential oil in here, and it does linger for a long time. Like I think even almost the whole day, and I can't handle that. So it's just a little bit too strong for me. If you like patchouli, you like the scent of patchouli lingering on your skin, like especially, you know, on your face, then you would like this probably, but for me it was just way too strongly scented. So beautiful ingredients for the most part, but just the scent was just way too much for me. So I'm really, really glad that I tried this in a sample. And not randomly drawing this one out of my bag. I really intentionally want to pull this out because I want to piggyback on this. So this is the De Mamiel Intense Nurture Antioxidant Elixir. So this is the serum I thought I was originally pulling out, but So this was another sample that I intentionally requested from Beauty Habit because this also was featured in the Beauty Heroes box. I think this might have been the Hero product, and then the tinted moisturizer thing was the Sidekick. So this too has the same scent profile, and yeah, it has that same patchouli scent in it. When you first smell it, like when I'm just smelling it right here, it's not super strong, but once it gets on my face, it's just too much. And it reminds me a lot of the Tata Harper it was like the anti-stress, or she has those aromatherapy scents. And I mean, I really love those. I'm pretty sure it's like the anti-stress one or the stress reliever or something like that. And I love it as a perfume, but on my face, it's just too much. So anyway, these two products were just too highly scented for me. I don't need to keep talking about it. So yeah, those were a no-go for me. So the next one that I'm pulling out here is the Ren Moroccan Rose Auto Sugar Rose Body Polish. So this I totally love. I included this in my holiday gift guide, I think, from just last year. And this is like one of those really creamy scrubs, very just smooth, luscious, just has the most beautiful rose scent. I just adore it. This is something I would definitely get again. Obviously, if I'm gonna recommend it as a gift, I would get it again. Just super luscious and kind of just decadent, I don't know how to describe it. Just one of those, like a very pampering kind of scrub. It's not utilitarian feeling, it's just very pampering feeling. And one thing about it though is I did have a viewer comment that when she received it, I can't remember where she got it from, that it did leak in transport, and mine actually leaked too. Once she mentioned it, I remembered that mine had leaked as well. And I think I got mine from Space NK, if I'm remembering correctly, but I never emailed them about it because it really wasn't that big of a deal. It didn't ruin the packaging. It didn't really leak that much. I think maybe just a tiny bit seeped out, and I don't think they had it protected in any way. Like they didn't put any, that like electrical tape around it or anything. So I think maybe if I were to get it again, I would try to buy it locally. I think it is sold here locally in Portland, like at Blue Mercury or something like that. So I think I would ideally try to get it locally. And if I did buy it online, I would maybe kind of like head them off at the pass and just say, hey, I've had issues with this leaking in transport. How are you going to be shipping it? Just to make sure that it doesn't leak. So that is just a heads up on this. It wouldn't keep me from purchasing it again, but maybe just make sure, if you are getting this shipped, make sure that they do a good job in packaging it so it doesn't leak in transport. Okay, so I'm grabbing the Tata Harper Regenerating Cleanser. You guys have heard me talk about this ad nauseum. Absolutely love this stuff. It's fantastic. I use it alone, just by itself, and it does a fantastic job of I really feel like it's very mild. I mean, I know it's got an exfoliating property, but it's mild enough to use every single day on its own, but I don't do that very often. How I really prefer to use it is on top of either oil cleanser that does not emulsify or on top of a balm. So what I do is just a massage with the oil or the balm, and then I use that on top of it to help it emulsify, because I really don't like using the cloth method all that much anymore. I find it can be just a little bit too rough, or just like a little too vigorous for me at this point. So I really like using this to remove whatever oil cleanser or balm that I do have on my face. And this is the Earthwise Beauty Marshmallow Suds Cleanser. This is the second one that I've gone through. I still really, really love this. This is a very gentle foaming face cleanser. So if you have sensitive skin, like rosacea, anything that's very, just very reactive skin, but you want a foaming cleanser, I think this would be ideal. The only downside to it is, the scent is a little peculiar, I will admit. It has a little bit of almost like an apple cider vinegar smell. even though I don't think there's any apple cider vinegar in here. If I'm remembering correctly, I think they maybe are working on the formula to, you know, make the scent maybe a little bit more universally pleasing. If you're intrigued by this cleanser and the idea of a very just silky, gentle foaming cleanser sounds good to you, I would maybe try the sample size first, because Ava has very, you know, generous like travel sample sizes on her website. So maybe give that a try first to make sure that the scent will agree with you. But I really love this. I think it's a fantastic cleanser, like I've said before. I also like using this when I do have an oil, like a non-emulsifying oil cleanser, and then use that over top of that. That's also a lovely experience as well. So now I'm going to backtrack on the bath salt thing, because this is the one exception. So I went ahead and experimented with this, sort of backed up my thinking that I really don't like bath salts, but this is the one exception. So this is a collaboration between Lotus Way and Cap Beauty, and Lotus Way made a special scent for Cap Beauty and put it, so there's like, I know that there's a roll-on for sure that Lotus Way made for Cap. I don't know if there's also like a spray. I'm pretty sure there might be a spray as well. But then there's also these bath salts that you can get. And this is just, it's so gorgeous. It's just got this beautiful floral sandalwood. It's like neroli and sandalwood, just all the scents that I love. And the reason why I think this is worth it is because the scent is just so beautiful that it really fills up your bath experience, and it fills up the bathroom as well. So for me, even though it is expensive, I think this was like $10 or $12. So this is definitely not something I would use frequently. Yeah. It's more for the scent. I wouldn't say it's loaded with a lot of oils that are going to be softening your skin. It's obviously not got a lot of salt in here, which is, you know, it's not going to give you a lot of therapeutic benefits from the actual salt. For me, it's the scent profile that's just super special. All right, so this is the Glossier Soothing Face Mist. I bought this a long time ago. I think when Glossier first launched, and I was super intrigued by them, which I still am intrigued by them. Don't get me wrong. I love, you know, I'm always intrigued by their launches and curious to see what they're doing. But when they first launched, and I was interested in their skincare, I did pick this up, and it's, you know, it's really nothing that special. The ingredients actually are not clean really, and it was, I don't know, I wasn't that impressed with it. So what I ended up using this for is if my legs were kind of on the dry side and I needed a little bit of help, you know, getting my my lotion to absorb better into my skin, I would just kind of put this all over my legs. And so I just was sort of using this in a very liberal way so that I could just kind of get through it, but this is not something I would ever purchase again. So grabbing this mist, this is something I would definitely repurchase again. Probably even cheaper. This bottle, which is bigger than this bottle, is cheaper than the Glossier, much better ingredients, and works a lot better. So if you're debating about getting the Glossier versus a different toner that is affordable, I highly recommend the Andalou Naturals. This is their toning refresher. And I have CJ to thank for this because he really loves the 1,000 Roses line. I wanted to make sure that I was getting something that was definitely hydrating, so I chose the Blossom and Leaf Toning Refresher, and I highly recommend this. This is a fantastic toner. I will definitely be getting this again. The only thing is the spray is definitely not fine. It's ooh, there's still a little bit left in here. It's not fine. As you can see, it really comes out in a very drenching way. So like right now, my arm is feeling very wet. So you've got to really keep yourself far away from the mist unless you want your skin to be very, very wet. There are definitely times when I want that and it's totally fine. If I don't want that, then I'm definitely going to be spraying this into my hand and then patting my face, which is great. This is a fantastic spray for when I do my mineral makeup. the mineral powder. It works really well for that. And then what I have done is there was just a little bit left and I decanted that into my car spray bottle, which has a very, very fine mist. And so, and you know what, if you didn't tell me otherwise, I would think that, you know, into more of the Myron bottle, you know, the black bottle, the very high-end bottle. Now that that is filled with this, if you told me that that was like a super fancy high-end toner that was in there, I would totally believe you. I think packaging and presentation obviously has a lot to do with mindset and what you think is inside of something. So that packaging definitely elevates the experience of the Andalous. So I don't need to go off on that tangent there. You know what I'm trying to say. I think that it's an amazing product, really good ingredients, and I highly, highly recommend this toner if you're looking for a very well-priced hydrating toner. Okay, now I'm just grabbing something that is going to be with me for a long, long time, and that is the 100% Bright Eyes under eye mask. This is fantastic for depuffing. I've mentioned it a ton of times. I do have issues with waking up with puffy eyes. Not that often now that I definitely need to focus on what I'm eating, try to keep the sodium on the low side, and, just doing better skincare has helped quite a bit. Okay, so the Flourish Lavender Mint Silky Conditioner. This is definitely one of my favorite hair care lines for sure. I love Flourish. If you haven't experienced Flourish, I highly recommend that you do. I have a code below that you can use. I think that I forget what my code is with Flourish, but you can just look down below. I think it's been updated to be GB Trish, I'm pretty sure, but you can check down below, and it's not an affiliate code at all. It's just for you guys to enjoy and to discover Flourish if you haven't already. But yeah, this is a fantastic conditioner. It's great for detangling. I love it. All right, so another Tata Harper product that almost just slipped out of my hands. This is the Nourishing Oil Cleanser. So this is an oil cleanser that does emulsify off. I really, really love this stuff. The scent to me is just so special and unique. It almost has like a vetiver scent to it, but I don't think there's any vetiver in here. I mean, there might be. I think there is a little bit of that proprietary blend, but I don't think vetiver is listed on here, but it kind of has like a really unique herbal scent to it. But the texture is very thick. For an emulsifying cleanser, it's very thick. You can do a fantastic job in terms of doing your facial massage with it. I was reading a review, I think by the Beauty Idealist. She did not give a rave review for this oil. She felt like it did not emulsify off very well. I think she said it became very gummy or something like that. That actually has not been my experience with it at all. For me, it does rinse off cleanly, but you do have to use relatively warm water. It's not like you have to use hot scalding water by any means, but you do need to use warm water. It's not going to rinse off with cold water at all. So I don't know if she was using cold water, but it will not, it's just interesting. It does not emulsify off with cold water. So you do need warm water. I love pairing these two together. This is just such a beautiful experience. If you use this with a little bit of this on top, it's super beautiful. So I will definitely get this again. I am using the new Kahina one. I do think I prefer the Kahina a little bit because the Kahina definitely does rinse off a little bit easier. You don't have to, it doesn't matter what the temperature of the water is. I would say the Kahina does rinse off a little bit more cleanly, but this is a fantastic product. I would definitely get it again, but I would definitely wait till it's on sale. It's not something that I feel like I need anytime soon because I do have the Kahina. And I do also have the Wamasa Organic Flowers Oil Cleanser. And I don't want to go into detail about that right here, but if you are interested, I did a review collaboration with CJ over on his channel. We talked a lot about Korean beauty, K-beauty. So I will link that below and you guys can go over and check out that review. It was super fun doing that with him. We talked a lot about K-beauty, so you can see what I said about that cleanser. Okay, so I do have a beauty product. This is not Green Beauty. This is the Ico Skinny Brush Mascara. I think I talked about this a while back. I'm always on the lookout for wands that are really, really skinny. You can see this is super skinny. I really do like this one a lot, but you know, I think that it just pretty soon after I opened it, it became pretty clumpy. And I've got to ditch this, and I used it today actually, and I think today was the last time I could probably use it, and that's why it's in my empties video. And I think I got to say goodbye to it, and I don't think I'll be getting it again because I think it just was like too clumpy. I struggled with it a little bit too much today, so no more. So this is the Arcona Vitamin A Complex. Now, I talked about this in my retinoid video, and I really, really like this a lot. I think that I won't be getting it again though, even though I do really like it. I think it's a great product. It also has glycolic acid in it, but I don't think I'll be getting it again because I really think that I like the Pestle and Mortar Superstar serum a lot better. I really enjoy that serum a lot, and the ingredients I would say are just, they are cleaner. So I feel like when you have two products and you like one better, it's cleaner, you know, there's no reason for me to buy this one again when I do feel like the Pestle and Mortar wins out. I also, you know, I have to say I really do like the Luna by Sunday Riley, even though it does have a little bit of that blue dye in it. You know, they do say it's plant derived. I mean, that's coming straight from the company. And they also said that, I mean, I don't know if this is just their party line or if it really is the truth, that it's like a little less than a swipe of what your eyeshadow would be. Now, I don't know if that's within the whole bottle or per use, but I think it's just a very negligible amount. But, you know, again, I'm going off on a tangent here. Enough to say that I like the Pestle and Mortar, I like the Luna better than this one when all is said and done. And I'm also trying out the Jordan Samuel Etoile with retinol, and I've only used that a couple times, and I know I need much more time with that, but the texture of that is just stunning, and I really am loving that. So I think there's just other retinols out there that I do like just as much, if not better than this one. And this one does have denatured alcohol in it, which is not a fantastic ingredient. Actually, on the EWG, it rates a 4. So that's not spectacular. So I think I'll just be saying goodbye to this one, using the other ones that I have been liking better. But I do still love, just absolutely love their youth serum, which does not have the denatured alcohol in it. So that's good. I'm really happy about that because I love the youth serum. So, all right, so this is the Pa'akai from Hanua. This is their cleansing cream. Oh my gosh, I just love this so much. It does not foam at all. It just has a really lovely, like, thick texture that's very unique, and it's just kind of hard to describe, but it has a really lovely rose scent as well. Yeah, it's just very rosy. And the only thing I would say about this is I wish it came in a 4-ounce bottle with a pump more like this. You know, pump like this rather than this little pump, because I would like to get more product out at one time. But that's only because I really love the product, and I just thought that it was so unique and original, and the texture and everything is really hard to describe. You just gotta try it. And I love unique cream, you know, non-foaming cleansers that aren't oil, that don't foam. And yeah, it's just such a unique cleanser. I'm definitely going to be getting it again. I highly recommend it. Let's see, what else do I have here? I actually grabbed 2 things. Oh, one is just a David's toothpaste. So, you know, I do really like this. I'm not sure I'm as crazy, like gaga for it as a lot of people in the green beauty community. I mean, I think it's a wonderful toothpaste. I think it's a great replacement for, you know, more conventional toothpaste. I think it's pretty expensive. For some reason, I go through it so fast. I would have to look at the ounces in here, but I don't know if it's less ounces than other toothpaste tubes, but it's not something that I am going to seek out to purchase on its own. But if I'm making a purchase from an e-tailer that also carries David's and I'm in need of some toothpaste, then I'll go ahead and just tack it on. But the fact that I have to order it and have it shipped, I don't love that. You know, that's also obviously a use of resources to have to, you know, purchase your toothpaste from far away. So I really do like the Tom's Botanically Bright, so that is fluoride free and SLS free. So just as that's been my mainstay. So, you know, say what you will about Tom's, but I do like the fact that I can just buy it locally and it doesn't have to be shipped to me. I think that counts for a lot. So that's what I get for my family. Everybody in my family loves using that. The Tom's one that I was just mentioning, the Botanically Bright. But having said that, especially if I have a code and I'm purchasing, you know, from an e-tailer that carries the David's, then I will go ahead and get it. All right, so let's talk about this Drunk Elephant TLC Glycolic Night Serum. I really love this. I purchased the full size, I think, when Sephora just had a recent 20% off code or something like that. So this one is great if you want to go kind of like for those big guns on your exfoliation routine. And I mean, when I say big guns, I mean, you know, maybe I actually feel like it's fine if you have sensitive skin. You just want to go easy on it. It's not something you want to go like full force, you know, let's use it every night. I would just use it maybe once a week and see how you do. But I mean more like, you know, I just did my review for the Art of Organics June box, and that included the 3-minute facial flash mask. I don't know if or the Bright and Easy 3-minute flash mask from Ursa Major. And I was talking about how that is a little bit more mild and gentle if you're kind of new to the AHA, BHA thing. You know, you don't really use acid masks, then that's a great mask to use for that. And this one is definitely more intense for sure. You know, you're gonna get some stinging, you're gonna get some tingling. I would say most people would. So this is gonna be more intense. So this is definitely a step up from a mask like the Bright and Easy from Ursa Major. So, but I love it. It works really well for me. My skin responds really well. And I would say I maybe use this once a week. I don't really feel the need to use it any more than that. I think my skin could probably handle it, but I'm good with using it once a week. So I really love this stuff, and I already have bought another bottle of it. All right, so this was the All Good Unscented Sun Stick. I picked this up at the very end of the summer last year. They had them on sale at New Seasons, and it already went bad. And I actually took this on a trip, I think it was it was over spring break, so that was in March. So I got it in August, and then I went to use it in March, and it was already bad. So I feel like that's really disappointing. That's just too quickly, I think, for a sunscreen to go bad. That the active ingredient is zinc oxide and just oils and stuff. I don't know. It just, it already has that kind of like rancidy smell. So this was really disappointing. And I mean, it worked okay. I wasn't like totally in love with it, but it worked fine. But I'm really disappointed that it smells bad. So I have to throw that away. It's really disappointing. All right, so something I would repurchase in the future is the Natural Logic Unmask Deep Pore Detox. Now, there's a little tiny drop left. I saved it for you guys so you could see the color. So this is like a black charcoal mask that is, like the name says, it's a pore, a deep cleansing pore mask, but it is very creamy. You can feel the oils in it. It just kind of like nourishes the skin, and it just feels so beautiful and luxurious going on. And then it's like this charcoal mask that's cleaning your pores. So it just feels like you're nurturing your skin at the same time giving it a deep cleanse. It just so unique, and I had never experienced anything like it before. And then as far as the smell goes, it's a little medicinal, but very relaxing at the same time. I don't know, it's fantastic. Tony's just such a wonderful formulator, and I feel like her masks in a way are sort of like the crown jewel of her collection. So I really recommend her Unmask if you like those types of charcoal masks. and deep cleansing masks, but you want something that's maybe a little bit more nurturing for your skin. Now the last thing I have here, was this the last thing? Yep. The last thing I have is the Magi mask, and this was from Face Mask Alchemy. So this is Marie's project. And if you're not familiar with Face Mask Alchemy, Marie from And the Color Green has a subscription where every month you get a new dry mask, and also they typically come with a cute little bottle or like a little vial of a special oil that she has created, or an oil blend that she has created, and with directions and instructions that are now online, so which is great because she's saving paper for us. And with just instructions on how you can mix the mask, what the ingredients are. And she is just doing such a wonderful job with these masks, and her masks have become my favorite, and I have to credit her for really turning me on to dry masks, because I had always been just like, oh, they're so fussy and they take so much time, but there is so much beauty in these dry masks. And anyway, this was the Magi one. This was around Christmas time, and it just was so beautiful, and I just loved it. And she's just, like I said, she's just doing a fantastic job. So if you're not subscribed to her Face Mask Alchemy subscription box, I highly recommend it. And of course, I will link that below too. So these were all of my empties. For the most part, everything has just been fantastic, aside from the ones that I mentioned to you guys that I wouldn't be repurchasing, but so many of my favorites are here. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, a thumbs up would be fantastic. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do so, if you're so inclined. And I mean, if you don't want to, that's okay, but subs are always appreciated. And I think for my next video, I'm going to talk about some summertime favorites. I already did a collaboration with Marie and Cheryl from the Free Range Diva, who has her own channel here. And we talked about sort of like looking back on summertime favorites of what we used to use and sort of what we're using now. And I focused a lot on SPF. So I kind of want to do another one where I talk about like what I'm really loving right now for the summertime, just like some current summertime favorites. So I think I'm going to be doing that in my next video. So I will see you in that one. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.